What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. In particular, how good is his resume? Okay. Now, before I talk about his resume, I want to say that because I know some people are going to accuse me of this, that I am not a Deontay Wilder hater. Okay. I try to approach all of these topics involving boxing objectively. Okay. I try to take emotion out of it and just look at the facts as they are. Okay. Now, one thing I want to say first and foremost about Deontay Wilder is that he took up boxing, I believe, around the age of 20. And he did so primarily to try to have a path to earn a living to take care of his daughter who had a disability. Okay. So, as a father, I respect the hell out of Deontay Wilder. Okay. And the fact that he's earned a life-changing sum of money. He set his family up for their lifetime and probably into his grandchildren's lifetime. Okay. So I take nothing away from Deontay Wilder, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for the man. Okay. But I want to try to take an honest and objective look at his record. Okay. Particularly since he started at the championship level. Okay. Now, Deontay Wilder, from the time he turned pro, he had a lot of fights against lower level opposition. Okay. Now, if we look at his record from the time he fought Bermain Stavern in 2015, which is when he fought for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Okay. Now, at that time, Bermain Stavern was a WBC champion, and he had beaten Chris Arreola. He was more or less seen as a journeyman or a sort of lower tier champion at that point. Okay. And Deontay Wilder beat him. At that point he was the best opponent that Deontay Wilder had faced. Okay. He was the first serious opposition that Deontay Wilder had. And he beat him. He outboxed him. It was a really good performance actually by Deontay Wilder, even though it wasn't against somebody who would be considered an elite opponent. He went in there and he did what he had to do against Bermain Stavern. Okay, so that was in January of 2015, and then in June of 2015 he fought Eric Molina. Okay, not great, but he was at least at the time he was considered a credible opponent. Okay, and then after Eric Molina, he fought Johan Duhaupas. Okay, who again at the time was considered at least a credible opponent. Okay, again Eric Molina, Johan Duhaupas, in the years since are not considered high level opposition, but at least at the time they were considered credible opponents. Okay. And then he fought Artur Spilka again, who by January of 2016, when they fought, um, was certainly considered past his prime and was never considered a high level opponent in the heavyweight division. Okay. Then in July of 2016, he fought Chris Arreola again. Chris Arreola was at one time, 10 years prior to this, he was considered a respectable opponent at the heavyweight level. And in 2016, he was well past his prime. Okay, so to me, Deontay Wilder doesn't get a ton of credit for this win. Okay, and he shouldn't. Fast forward to 2017, February. He fights Gerald Washington. Again, not top tier opposition here. Okay. Then in November 2017, he has a rematch against Bermain Stavern. And coming into this fight, Bermain Stavern came in um, significantly overweight compared to their first fight. And Deontay Wilder took him out in the first round. Okay. But again, nobody was asking for this fight. Bermain Stavern had done nothing since the first fight to warrant this fight. So how much credit can you really give Deontay Wilder for this? I say none. Okay. And then in March of 2018, he fights Luis Ortiz. Okay, now Luis Ortiz isn't the best opponent, but at least at the time he was considered credible. Okay. His best win, still even to this day in 2023, Luis Ortiz's best win was against Bryant Jennings. Okay. What's Bryant Jennings' best win? Well, you know what? I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head. Okay. And then after the Luis Ortiz fight in December of 2018, Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury and got schooled. Okay. Now, he did get 2 knockdowns against Tyson Fury and ended up with a draw, but most observers felt that Deontay Wilder lost that fight. But the official record says he got a draw, so we give him a draw in that fight. Okay. May of 2019, he fought Dominic Breazeale. Okay. And he knocked Dominic Breazeale out in the first round. Okay. Decent win. It was respectable. I mean, Dominic Breazeale was never a world beater, and he was, he's not an all-time great, but at the time he was considered a respectable opponent. He was at least a top 10, top 15 heavyweight at the time. So it was a good win for Deontay Wilder. We'll give him a good win for that. Okay. Then in November of 2019, he has a rematch against Luis Ortiz. Again, why he needed to rematch Luis Ortiz, I don't know, but he did. And he, again, as he did in the first fight, he knocked out Luis Ortiz. Then in February of 2020, he finally had his rematch against Tyson Fury and got knocked out in the 7th round. Okay. Then in October of 2021, he fought Tyson Fury again and got stopped. Okay. And then in October of 2022, again, a little over a year ago from the time I'm making this video, as of October 27, 2023, he knocked out Robert Helenius in the first round. But again, who wanted to see Deontay Wilder fight Robert Helenius? I mean, no disrespect to Robert Helenius. He's been a legitimate heavyweight contender for a number of years. He's made his reputation as a tough, durable guy, but nobody was really asking to see that fight. And again, Deontay Wilder hasn't fought since then. It's already the end of October 2023, and he has nothing on the calendar for this year. So, in all likelihood, Deontay Wilder is not going to have a fight at all for the calendar year 2023. Okay. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Deontay Wilder's 38 years old. He doesn't have very long, okay, in his career. At the very most, he's going to have a few more years and a handful of fights left, if he actually takes advantage of that. So I really don't think his resume is that impressive. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, there isn't a single win that Deontay Wilder has that I feel like has actually aged well. That after the fact, we can look back and say that, oh, you know what? At the time, we didn't really realize it, but you know what? That was a really good win. I don't see it. In fact, if anything, his wins have aged in reverse. In fact, where we look at them and we say that, you know what, this win doesn't really look that good as much as we thought it did at the time. So, again, I'm not a Deontay Wilder hater. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the man that he's been able to earn a life changing sum of money for his family. So, I don't hate the man, but at the end of the day, we have to objectively look at his resume for what it actually is. So, anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.